So what is a lead magnet? It's the definition, that we use is a piece of value that solves a specific problem in your marketplace. So you're going to give them that value, but it's offered in exchange for an opt-in. Traditionally, like I said, opt-in is an email address if we're talking internet marketing. But basically, you're going to help them, give away something to them that will help them. But in order to do that, they need to do something in return, and this is an opt-in. They're going to give you their information. So when we're talking about a lead magnet, this is your giveaway. This is your initial piece of value. And we've emphasized, value and branding. This is the very first thing, and this is going to set your relationship with them. So, there's a lot that goes into these ideas of lead magnets, but you want to make sure that this is the very best stuff that you can give them, because this is your first impression, building a brand, building a reputation, and connecting with these potential customers. And knowing your market. I've done a lot of segments on your customer avatar. So that really comes down to it. For me, if I'm relating it to birthday parties, okay, well, I know that they're moms. I know that they have young kids. So challenges they face. Oh, lack of timing. Budgets. Where are they going to hold it? All those kind of things. So I really know what my customer avatar is. And, if you're not sure what what I mean by customer avatar, or you haven't done that for your own, make sure you go catch those segments. But really, really, really know what your market is. And if you already have in mind what that customer avatar is, then awesome. So these are ways to really start figuring out what their challenges are. So surveying them. You can even do like a little paid survey on Facebook, things like that. What's your number one challenge, getting started marketing online? Or what's your number one challenge in planning your child's birthday party? Things like that. And in this case, you would serve them for value. Say, hey, take this survey, and in exchange, I'll give you a free, the 5 best tips for, moms planning birthday parties. So you're asking them, what's your number one challenge planning a birthday party? In exchange, by answering that question, you're going to give them, 4 good tips for helping you plan a birthday party. So exactly like that. You can be looking for forums and stuff in your niche and kind of getting a sense of what people are talking about. Same thing in Google and Facebook groups. Really understanding and connecting with your market and listening for what their challenges are. How can you help them? Events and live workshops, whether you're putting them on and understanding them, or going to workshops for, or events that people in their area go to. Existing customers, asking them questions, especially if you have a good relationship with some of your existing customers, just ask them, hey, what challenges? How can I help you better? Things like that. Social media, which we've already talked about, groups and forums and things like that. But you can even blast it out there on your social media, surveying them or just asking questions or seeing what people are posting. And then a cool thing too is finding your competition and seeing what they're doing. What content are they putting out, things like that. You can even, go and create a new email address and opt into your competition's emails, see what content and value they're putting out, and you can kind of get a sense of what the challenges are, and maybe you can also help solve a challenge better than your competition is currently solving them. That's how you can set yourself apart. So really, really, really know your market to develop exactly what giveaway or what value you need to be giving to your marketplace. That's your lead magnet. So what giveaway, how are you going to help connect with them? And you need to know your people first. And in here, they like the idea of results in advance. So pretty much you're going to take somebody that's having a challenge, and how do you get them to become happy? There's traditionally, milestones or challenges that people have in anything. So what are kind of the segments of that? A process you went through or can relate to, or, you've done your research, what your avatars are having problems with. So getting that sense. So if we're talking about, okay, well, somebody who's, an internet marketing, okay, well, their first challenge might be, okay, well, I need to find an offer to promote. Oh, well, you're talking about landing pages. How do I create one? So their second challenge is to create that. Then they need to what? Get traffic, and then finally get sales or that conversions. So those are kind of the 4-step things if somebody wants to become a internet or affiliate marketer. Okay, well, here's the same thing relating it to birthday parties. Okay, well, what's the process of going through getting a birthday party? Well, first they need to come up with ideas and themes. What am I even going to do for my child's party? Then once they've made that selection, okay, well, I'm going to have, a barnyard theme party or something like that. Okay, well, what entertainment? Do I want animals there? Do I want balloons, face painting, sports and games, a character and costume, all of that? So what actual entertainment would they be having at their party? Then if they're coming up, okay, well, they're kind of figuring out ideas, then they're going to start figuring, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to have the party in the afternoon. I've narrowed it down, so I really want a face painter, and I'm going to have a petting zoo for this party. So when they're getting down and they're really figuring out, then they're going to actually make the decisions and start selecting the vendors. Okay, well, now I need to find a good face painter, and I need to find a good petting zoo. So that's where we're talking about, relating it to that idea is finding your customers before they're finding you. So, if you're a small business and thinking about this part, well, my small business, technically in this part, would be coming in at step 4. This is where, people would start to be looking for petting zoo companies. Well, they're also looking at all of my competition. So instead, these ideas, as I can start connecting with them and helping them at step 1 to say, hey, are you a mom trying to come up with ideas for your kid's birthday party? Here's, 5 ideas of popular parties that are working right now. So you start to build value and catch them at step 1 instead of catch step 4 and start relating to that. So that's one way you can look at understanding these milestones. At the same page, if you're talking, okay, in terms of the internet marketing things, you can help them out at all 4 steps of it. Then, connecting with them and saying, hey, I'm going to take you from step 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the way through from, the challenge at the beginning to your results at the end. That's the idea. And you want to sell those results in advance. And, if I'm thinking birthday parties, hey, I'm not telling them I'm selecting the idea of vendors and walking them through all that. I'm going to sell them on the results. Hey, you're having challenging solving, figuring out your kid's party. Well, guess what? Download these tips, get yourself going, and you can have a successful party, and have the whole thing planned in under an hour, and it can fit your budget. Something like that. You're delivering happy results. So you want to be always emphasizing what the end result is, what are they going to be happy with, and understanding the challenges or processes, milestones that they're going to be going through. And that can relate to any business out there. But you just really have to put in the time and understand exactly where these processes lay. So in that sense, okay, awesome. So you have the idea of a lead magnet and, coming up with, okay, well, that's where your creativity has to be, is what is your lead magnet? And, my coaching students, we definitely work together on brainstorming lead magnet ideas. If you also need some help, you're welcome to jump on these live noon sessions and ask and, get some ideas of what, we're going to be getting sense of. So really figure out, and this is where your creativity and your part of it is, what is your lead magnet, and you need to come up with that. But make sure that you're simplifying things. You don't want to overcomplicate. And some marketers actually, intentionally overcomplicate things. So that way you feel like these things and these steps are super complicated. You start to rely on them, and then they want you to buy more info, or, it's a different way to market. And honestly, it usually ends up backfiring, because if people are overwhelmed, they're going to give up anyways, and you're not going to be getting through to them. So really make things as simple as possible, as easy as possible, and really, help people is the bottom line here. You don't want, if you're trying to overcomplicate them, you're not trying to help them. So really look at what's the best way that you can help them and give them value in your lead magnet and everything you do. So examples of your lead magnet, it can be a PDF, a little thing like that. A video, hold a webinar. Oh, download my cheat sheet here. An audio software, if that's something that can help with, or literally just a sample. Oh, if maybe your thing is you're helping people write resumes or something. So a sample resume, oh, that would be an awesome thing to break down. So just things like that. So just some ideas to get you going as far as what you want for your lead magnet. So an example here that I found this ad is, okay, it's advertising. I don't even know what Litmus is, but anyways, what is their lead magnet? It's get a free trial of the world's most user-friendly LMS. So that's what their lead magnet is. It's a free trial of, I'm assuming that's a software, which honestly it should be a little more defined, or else this ad is not very targeted because I have no idea what it is. But that being in mind, is their lead magnet is their free trial of LMS. So that's what their lead magnet is. So some tips when you're creating your lead magnet: you want a unique name because you want it to stand out. There's a million people that could help you, the 5 tips to advertise better on Facebook. A lot of people can do that, but make sure that you stand out. The 5, techniques that will, revolutionize your business or something like that. Whatever it might be, but stand out with it. You want to be very specific so people know exactly what it is. That ad that I just showed you, I'm like, I don't know what a litmus is. Maybe it's something with a brain because I see that. I mean, I could, but it's not, I don't know what it is. So that advertiser is wasting their money because they're showing me an ad that I have no clue or, how it relates to. So make sure it's very specific, and you also emphasize the end results. When we've talked about features and benefits on previous things, the ad we just saw is a great example of what not to do. I have no idea what it is. It's not specific. And I have no idea why it could help me. Who knows? Maybe that thing could be fantastic, but they're not telling me what the end result will be. So you want to make sure that whatever your lead magnet is, they know exactly what it is and what their outcome will be, because you're selling those results. You're selling the smiley face. You're taking them from sad to happy. Whatever it is too, you want to give it so it's easy to understand and also to be quickly. About 5 minutes to no more than an hour. So you don't want to give somebody, hey, here's my book, because, it's going to take a long time to go through and it's eventually going to dwindle. So whatever it is, short and quick and gets to that. And if possible, you want to give them an aha moment. Deliver your value. Like I said, this lead magnet is your initial impression, your first impression that someone's going to get of you. So if it's, you can give them a little bit and they'll like, okay, well, that was interesting. Or if you give them that aha moment and you give them so much value, they're like, oh my gosh, I got this for free and this is really good stuff. That's how you start to build branding and build a relationship. And that's what you want your lead magnet to be, the most powerful, value getting. And this is why people are going to go from window shopping to actually not only walking in your store, but buying something from you, because wow, that, the specials that you're advertising on the window of your shop are so awesome that they're willing to come inside. And then in order to create value, you definitely want a high perceived value. And in that being said, think about a Rolex versus a Timex. The actual value that they provide is what? They tell the time. That's it, pretty much. You could get fancy ones. They can tell you, like, the direction or something like that. But the idea, the bottom line is both of them are going to provide the time. So why do you spend, tons and tons of money for a Rolex versus a Timex? It's the perceived value. It's, it makes you feel better. Oh, it's the status. It's, there's a scarcity, things like that. And that's what, it has, gold and sparkles. You can tell I'm not into that stuff. But anyways, it has a very high perceived value, and that's where you want it. So you want people to think that you're literally giving them the Rolex of value versus just okay, it's just a watch idea. You want to make it look good. This is where you don't want to skimp out on a graphic designer or something. If you're coming up with, a little ebook or whatever it might be, you want it to look good. You don't want to just, you might have your actual PDF sheet on, a piece, like a Word document, but The advertisement, get my PDF here, that part, you want it to look really good so it has a high perceived value. You also want people, like they call up a positive expectancy. I believe that I can do that. So whatever it is that you're teaching them, that's where we're talking about keeping it simple, but you want people to, oh, well, that makes sense, or, oh, I get that, or, so that way, if I'm telling them about the birthday parties, oh, that's some really good information. So that's building that idea that that they're going to start trusting you and looking to you and taking your advice. So make sure that whatever it is that they believe that they can do it. Um, so here's the idea: is if you can explain the problem that they're having better than that they can, you understand, that builds value, that builds credibility. They relate to you, and then if you can explain the solution, oh my goodness. So you want to, really have them connect, and you understand, you relate to them, you and you have that, and then when you give them the solution, it's magic.